Hey, it's Nick here, and you're in the Transparent FX Academy. I'm a top author on TradingView, and it's time to make another full market breakdown to see exactly what kind of opportunities we can be looking for on the period that we will be analyzing both from a technical and an order flow perspective. So without further ado, let's jump onto the charts. Okay, so the pair that I want to speak about in today's video is GBP SEK. Now you might be wondering, why am I speaking about an exotic pair? Now exotic pairs, if you have a good broker to trade them on, are very good markets because you have pairs that are not very manipulated, that do provide some quite nice setups with good risk rewards. Plus, if you are trading also exotic pairs, you have a lot of pairs on your watch list. In fact, we trade over 70 pairs. And if you have such a massive amount of pairs on your watch list, what you can do is follow and trade only the best setups. So you can be very selective if you have a big amount of pairs, while other people will tell you, look, only focus on 3 pairs. If you focus only on 3 pairs, you will not be able to search only for the highest probability setups because you don't have much choice. You will be most of the times just sitting on your hands. So what you do, you take more trades. But if you have a massive amount of pairs on your watch list, trading majors, crosses, exotics, commodities, what you can do is you can chase only the best setups and trade only the highest probabilities setups. And that is exactly what we do. So the pair that I want to speak about today is GBP SEK, which is an exotic pair. Now, if you're looking for a broker that gives you the possibility to trade exotic pairs as well with very low spreads, I will leave a link in description. There is my Linktree link where you also find my trusted broker in all those links. So I suggest that you go and check it out because you will have very good trading conditions and you can increase the portfolio of the pairs that you're actually trading, which gives you the possibility to look only for the best setups. So the way in which I will be performing the analysis is, as usual, very educational. So first, we will be speaking about the technical aspect of this pair. We will then go and see what we have from an order flow perspective with the commitment of traders, which is what hedge funds are doing in the market. And by the end of the video, we will know exactly what kind of opportunities we can be looking for on GBP SEK. Now, let's start the analysis. Now, starting here from the monthly time frame of GBP SEK, what we can see is that the market has just broken and is currently retesting a quite strong structure area. In fact, all this zone was acting as extremely strong support here. The market broke the zone to the downside, and at that point, previous monthly support is now turned resistance. This is a very clear concept in the market. If you have a support zone and the support area gets broken to the downside, at that point, the previous support will be turned resistance, which is exactly what we can currently see that is happening on GBP SEK. This area was very strong support. You can see all the wicks that the market was creating at this zone. The market then broke below it with this impulse, closed below it with this red candle. And at this point, all this previous support is now turned resistance here. And what you can expect is for the market to retest this resistance and reject the zone to the downside, possibly for the creation of a lower low and rejection of this previous support turned resistance. Going down on the weekly time frame, what do we see? Now on the weekly time frame, we can see a completely different scenario. In fact, what we can see on the weekly is that the market has just provided this W formation. Now, generally speaking, after a W formation, what you want to see is the market create a move to the downside. Specifically, what you want to see is the market go and complete the pattern at the previous resistance, which is now turned support from a weekly perspective. So the previous resistance turns support, which is the neckline of the pattern itself and completion zone of the pattern. So on the weekly time frame, we expect the market to create the move to the downside to go and complete this W formation at the neckline, which is this previous resistance, now turns support. So what we will do now is we will identify our downside target with a horizontal ray, which is the zone that we expect the market to go and test So it is our downside target. So as you can see, the monthly and weekly time frame are showing the same direction, because on the monthly we have previous support and resistance, and on the weekly we have a bearish pattern, which is this W formation. And after a W formation, as I just explained, we expect the market to create a move to the downside. So we have a bearish view and outlook on GBP SEC, both from a monthly and a weekly perspective. Let's go down on the daily and see what we have on the daily time frame. Hey, just a quick thing, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pairs or topics you would like me to analyze or cover in the next videos. Now on the daily time frame, we have a bearish pattern as well. We have an overextended W formation. Now, after an overextended W formation, what you want to see is for the market to create a move to the downside. Specifically, the first completion zone of this pattern is the 0.382 Fibonacci taken on the impulse. So when you have an overextended W formation, if you want to identify the first target to the downside, you have to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse, and the first downside target will be the 0.382 of the Fibonacci taken from the low to the high of the impulse. So doing it on the actual chart, taking our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse, what we can identify is our first downside target, which is this 0.382. And on the weekly time frame, we have already identified our second target, which means that we have a completion zone of the two patterns, so weekly, daily, and obviously rejection of the monthly support, actually resistance, which is this area here. So this is our completion zone on the daily and weekly, but on the monthly, we know that we might even get the market to create a move lower and possibly break below this area to create a continuation, since on the monthly, we have already seen at the beginning of the video that we have previous monthly support, which is now term resistance. So by checking the monthly, weekly, and daily, we have already identified our downside target, and we can now go and see what we have from an order flow perspective. So commitment of traders perspective, which is what hedge funds are currently doing in the market. Now, if we check the pound, and keep in mind that if you're checking the pound, what you're actually checking is GBP USD. Why? Because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD, but that is enough if you are checking an exotic pair. You only have to check a major pair, let's say. Now, if we check the pound, what we can see is that with the last reports, net positions have clearly increased. We went from having 19.7k net positions all the way up to having 3.6k net positions. However, what we can see at the same time is that with the last reports, the more short-term reports, we can see that we went from having 6k net positions all the way down to having 3.6k net positions, which means that in the long term, net positions are increasing. However, in the short term, net positions are decreasing. So we're seeing a decrease of the net positioning. With the last report, we can see 900 shorts got added on the pound and 200 longs got closed, which made the short exposure increase and the long exposure decrease. So we can expect some short-term weakness of the pound, which is exactly what we need if we are to create this move to the downside on GBP SEC. So how we will be approaching this kind of situation and opportunity with students? Now, as usual, we will be reactive and not predictive. Now, the monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes, those are the best timeframes for the direction of the market. But when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best timeframe is the 4 hours. And if we go down on the 4-hour timeframe, what we can see is that at the moment, the market is still pretty bullish. The market can easily continue to the upside. And that would be even better, because the more the market will continue to the upside, the better the risk to reward and probabilities will be when the move to the downside will actually start. So with students, what we will be doing is monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area. And we will be waiting for the market to shift from a 4-hour bullish market to a 4-hour bearish market. And as soon as the market will shift from a 4-hour bullish to a 4-hour bearish market, at that point, we will be adding GBP SEC to our watch list. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities at that point for the move to the downside and for the market to complete the daily and weekly patterns. If you made it this far in the video, it would be great if you can smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the channel and support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have a full mentorship program that will teach you exactly the rules of my rule-based strategies and also give you every single day a new market breakdown in which I show you exactly how to apply the strategies with entries, stops, and take profits, as well as answering every question that you have every single day, including the weekends. So it's a very complete program. It will teach you everything that you need to trade the market consistently. So I will see you in it. The link is in the description, or I will see you in the next video.